Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the privacy edition of the weekly news roundup. And these are recorded live Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to jump around and join in the fun discussions, maybe watch a fire screen go live, you can join us then. But for today, before we get started if you are a person in need of a VPN, maybe if you travel around a lot, if you need to block ads, if you need to use the internet from a different region or locality, consider using private internet access. My link there is on the screen. tlm.li/PIA will get you a affiliate code. If you purchase that, either monthly, yearly, whatever, they will send a small commission of that sale to help support Switched to Linux, and that enables me to keep running this show. But let's go ahead and jump on into the privacy news. And if I remember correctly, I think like literally Google stuff dominated the news this week, but Google themselves had nothing to do with it. Maybe that means the company is just too big. Really. So first one is a little bit about, no, we're not talking about Homer Simpson. We're talking about DNS over HTTPS. Now, Firefox did it. Nobody really cared because very few people are using Firefox, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, Firefox has gone so insane lately. I really don't know if I like them or don't like them. I just know I like them better than Chrome and Chromium, so I still use them, but I lock it down because at least they make it available. But man, are they getting into some weird stuff. They introduced a DNS over HTTPS. Nobody seemed to care. A few security guys talked about it, said it was great, but now Chrome does it, and since Chrome is pretty much the world dominant web browser, even nearly every other browser out there that's not Chrome still uses the Chromium base. They did it, and the whole world went, it's crazy. It's insane. And so this is going to be the end of it, and all of these child abusers are going to be free, and all this kind of stuff. Really what's happening here is that the ISPs don't like it, because the ISPs, if you are using DNS over HTTPS, the ISPs cannot track what you're doing as well. So, hey, you guys that want to sell the VPNs, like I did at the start, to say, hey, prevent your ISP from seeing what you're doing, this actually prevents your ISP from seeing what you're doing, which, by the way, is why I have never used that as a means to push my VPNs. Okay, I think that that's just kicking the can down the road. Somebody's going to see your stuff. It's either going to be them or it's going to be your ISP. Who knows? Now, in this case here, what the people complaining about are saying is that, hey, Google could switch your DNS to theirs and you wouldn't know it, and then Google can track everything you're doing. But the ISPs are the ones mad about this. Well, the ISPs can already see what you're doing. The fact is, though, Google has said, oh no, you have full control, and I believe that you do. You will have full control. It's just that if you are using the new Chrome or the new Firefox, which have these implemented, and you have changed your DNS to one of the DNS platforms that supports DNS over HTTPS, they're going to use that protocol instead, which is going to prevent your internet from being tracked by pretty much anybody. So the people using the VPN for the purpose of hiding your internet activity from your ISP, this actually solves the problem. You don't have to pay for that service. But there are many other legitimate reasons to have a VPN. So with that, these guys are all kind of going crazy because, it's going to allow Google to have more stuff, and I kind of disagree. If you're using Chrome, Google knows what you're doing anyway, especially if you used any Google product and they're logging you into Google. It doesn't matter what your DNS is. They see the final endpoint that you're actually using, and they're storing that inside your Google account. So stop using Chrome and or stay logged out of Chrome and Chrome other Google products. But that being said, these guys are all losing their mind over it. Because they basically say that now Google can spy, but Google kind of said they don't. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are they going to spy? Are they not going to spy? By the way, for those curious, this link here in the article, all the articles, there's a link in the description down below, which will take you to the website, which has it. This actually has some more information about it. Is this different from Mozilla's? Yes, Mozilla carries a canary domain with it. Which I believe the canary domain is like an early warning. It will kind of warn you if the thing is broken, just an FYI. And then the DNS browsers that currently support it, Clean Browsing, Cloudflare, which is 1.1.1.1, DNS.SB, Google, which is 8888, OpenDNS, and Quad9, which is 9999. So those are the ones that actually use this. So if you are using one of those with these new functions, and these are actually implemented and enabled, then your DNS will go over an encrypted network instead. Now, what does all this mean? It means that what you're doing online is more protected. So that's why it's in the privacy news, but at the same time, this is actually kind of good privacy news. I don't have any problem with this issue. All right, hey, unable to connect. All right, let's get rid of that one here. All right, so this article here is another Google thing. So Google has this facial recognition tool, and they're basically trying to collect particularly darker skinned people who tend to have more difficulty being identified correctly on facial recognition, mostly because it's all of us pasty white people that are generally used to train the AI. And so Google was trying to collect some information. Basically what they're trying to do is going around to a lot of people, primarily targeting college students, whatever else, giving a $5 gift certificate if you allowed them to collect your Face ID stuff. And that's just creepy enough. But what happened here is that one of the subcontractors that Google had hired to push these people out was basically going around and lying about the fact that this thing was being used to train AI. So what the actual Google employees were doing is going around and they were targeting college students and homeless people, giving $5 vouchers as an incentive to scan your face into this thing. And so basically, the actual bona fide Google people were making it very clear, this is to train a facial recognition AI. Would you like to have $5 to do this? I personally would turn it down, but I'm okay with that. You're upfront about what you're doing. But this shady company came in behind and explicitly told people to lie about what they're doing and say, hey, it's just a new game app or something. Play with this for a little bit and you'll get $5. And they were not being clear that this is being used to scan and collect people's face data to train facial recognition software. And so that is what caused the issue here. So once again, it's Google stuff, but it's not actually Google. This is a sign that maybe the company's just getting a little bit too big, you know. Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys all think about all that kind of stuff? Let me know. Let's see. Egypt used Google Play in spy campaign. Yes, here is another case where Google applications here is, the Egyptian government wanted to monitor your journalists and see what they're doing. And so they introduced this app, and actually a series of apps, into the Google Play Store. This particular one they're highlighting, called Index Y, which is supposed to get in there and scan out some information, regarding the phone numbers. Basically, it was like a people search. But really, what they were doing is it was a back end motion here, whereby the Egyptian government was getting information about who these people were, what they were doing, everything on their phone. It's basically a giant backdoor into the phone. So the Egyptian government was using the vulnerabilities in the Google Play Store, where they do not actually provide secure stuff, in order to track journalists and other people that they wanted to track. How exciting is that? All right. So with all of this being said, yeah, guys, the Google Play Store is not a safe and secure place to get your stuff. So with that, Google, it was used in this case, but again, it wasn't Google; it was somebody else. It was somebody else using their systems. All right, so finally, a Yahoo software engineer. This is why I take a little bit of concern with utilizing these tools. Even if everything's the safe and secure, you still have employees who can tinker around. Remember that lady who worked for AWS? The lady who worked for AWS and this lady who worked for AWS, she got into Capital One. Was it Capital One? Yeah, Capital One stole all of these credentials, 109 million records. 109 million different records in here. And on top of that, she also stole information from 30 different companies that they never released, that they should absolutely release, you know, just to let us know. These employees can get in, and this is why it's bad to have your data on these servers, even if you completely trust the service, unless it's completely encrypted before it gets there. You encrypt it on your device and then send it up. At that point in time, it would be generally safe. So this Yahoo engineer, well, as a former Yahoo engineer, used his work access in order to hack into personal accounts from individual users, and he was mostly using it to collect data and to stalk women. So he pleads guilty. So fortunately, we did not have to go through the cost of we have to go through this cost of prosecuting the guy. He did this. So he admits copying images and video from over 6,000 accounts, which was mostly some nasty pictures. So he pled guilty in federal court to hacking into accounts of thousands of Yahoo users in search of private and personal records, primarily kinky images and videos of account holders, announced United States Attorney David Anderson and the FBI Special Agent John Bennett. So he pleads guilty into this. He'll probably not get nearly as much as she should get, but he's currently on release pursuant to conditions of an unsecured $200,000 bond. So, you know, just a friendly reminder that individual companies do still have employees that can see this data. So it's just better that data is not there. What do you think about all these news items? Let me know in the comments down below.